Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, recapping the latest buzz on the Broncos head coaching search, which has primarily revolved around two names, Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton. And we've got new updates on both of those candidates. Now, I want to start with the Sean Payton sort of half of today's video because it sounded like Sean Payton and Denver were closing in on a match made in heaven, and all that might go down the drain because of this guy. Brandon Staley blew a 27-0 lead to the Jags. We all witnessed it on Saturday night. And for a while, it was fun, right? Chargers getting a Charger. Everyone was taking their victory laps on Twitter, making fun of LA. But we all woke up in the morning, and maybe it was just me, but when the Chargers blew that lead and lost that game, I was thinking, that's not good for the Broncos. And I'll explain why in a second. But first, I do want to take a victory lap on the Chargers. They blew the third largest lead in NFL postseason history. It was a bigger lead than 28-3. That was a 25-point lead. Shout out math. This was just 27 points of it, and that was too much, not enough, for the Chargers to hold on to. But like I said, it wasn't long until people started connecting the dots. Even Stephen A. Smith tweeting out, "Congratulations, Sean Payton. Welcome to Los Angeles as the new coach of the Chargers. There is no way Brandon Staley can keep his job after blowing this lead. There's no coming back for this for him." And now we're wondering, sure, watching the Chargers Charger was funny, it's timeless, it never gets old, but did that steal Sean Payton away from Denver? Potentially. Jonathan Jones from CBS said this: "What everybody in the league knows is that Sean Payton has had his eye on the Chargers job, but before last night, it didn't look like it'd come open. So, watching the Chargers Charger, like I said, never gets old. But when they blew that lead, my first thought was, I don't think Sean Payton's going to Denver anymore. I think he's going to LA, right? That was a rumor back in October, before Brandon Staley was even fired. And he's still not fired right now. And I guess I've kind of spoken it into existence. But there is something to a 27-point blown lead, kind of underachieving for the Chargers the last couple of seasons under Staley. Wouldn't be shocked if they use this as an opportunity to go, well, we kind of always wanted Sean Payton, and you blowing a 27-point lead in the playoffs, that's grounds for termination. Now we can go get our man Sean Payton. And Sean Payton has been rumored to like the Chargers job here. Now, it is bizarre, though, to fire a coach after making the playoffs. It doesn't happen very often. I crunched the numbers, did some digging, and tell me if I'm missing someone. But Tony Dungy with the Bucs back at the turn of the century. Marty Schottenheimer, his last year with the Chargers after a 14-2 season. They canned him. That was a shocking move. Mike Mularkey most recently for the Titans. They made the playoffs. That was the game where Marcus Mariota threw a forward pass. It got batted back to him in Kansas City, and then he ran it in for a touchdown. I believe that was that game. Anyway, he got fired too. So it doesn't happen quite often, right? You make the playoffs, you lose, you get fired. But if you're the Chargers, you might be sitting there going, can we get a better head coach? Yes. Sean Payton is better. We want Sean Payton. And blowing a 27-point lead is definitely a good enough reason to make the move. So was it worth it? We're going to have this meme. We're going to have these jokes over the Chargers for a long time. 27-0. But what price did it come at? Did it come at losing Sean Payton? Potentially. I do think Sean Payton is probably going to look at the options. And I'll be honest, it's tough to try and spin the Broncos head coaching job as better than the Chargers, because it's not. Right? Justin Herbert, rookie contract, better quarterback. That makes it much more attractive. But it's not just Herbert, right? They've got Khalil Mack. They've got Bosa. They got Derwin James. They've got a much better roster, in my opinion, from top to bottom. Denver's got good pieces too, but you're lying to yourself if you're picking the Broncos roster over the Chargers roster. So all Denver really has is ownership, which Sean Payton has spoken at length about as a very important pillar when looking for a team. But they're all billionaires, and maybe Herbert's going to be, attractive enough bonk for him to pick the Chargers job over the Broncos job. Now, I'm watching the Giants-Vikings game right now, midway through the first quarter. It's 7-0 Minnesota. And if you want the Broncos to be playing right now and for us to be doing a Broncos watch party, wild card weekend this time next year, ooh, big play for the Giants, Darius Slayton, subscribe to the channel today. Hit that big red button and sub if you want to be talking Broncos football and not Broncos head coaching search year after year. Let's get to the second half of today's video, which is all about Jim Harbaugh. And there is reportedly some mutual strong interest between the guy in Ann Arbor and Mile High. So the Broncos and Jim Harbaugh have strong mutual interest. That's the wordage used by Ian Rapoport. Here's exactly what he said. There is some strong mutual interest. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but at least both sides like each other. This sounds like trying to put your friends together for a prom date. It looks a little weird. But the Michigan rumors are getting hot right now. So Harbaugh may be using the NFL to get some leverage. That's at least what the beat reporters in Michigan believe as, hey, he's only making $7 million. What if he goes and flirts with the NFL just so Michigan goes, all right, we get the point. We don't want you to leave. Come on back. We're going to give you a raise, and we're going to bump your salary up. So it might not be 20-plus million, but, hey, it's going to be over $10 million, and you're going to be one of the 5 highest-paid coaches in college football. I want to remind you guys the Broncos interview list looks like this. In-person interviews or virtual interviews are denoted by a check mark. So Jim Harbaugh, touchdown Saquon Barkley. Ejiro Evero, they did an in-person interview. He was the first one. Jim Caldwell and David Shaw afterwards. Jim Caldwell and David Shaw, as a result, fulfill the requirement for the Rooney Rule. That's 2 outside minority interviews, so just so you know. But they also have in-person interviews scheduled with Raheem Morris and Sean Payton on Monday. DeMeco Ryans, whenever the Niners kind of finish up the postseason, kind of same for Dan Quinn and the Cowboys. Now, I want you to predict this for me. Before we let you guys go, the Broncos 2023 head coach will be blank. I'll let it be a Mad Lib. Fill it in the comment section. Who's going to be the Broncos 2023 head coach? Not what you want, but if you had to make a prediction, who you think it will be. I appreciate all of you for tuning into today's show amid Wild Card Weekend for the latest Broncos head coaching news and rumors. There's no other channel out there that's coming in on their day off to get you guys the latest buzz while football is going on. So if you are looking for a Broncos YouTube channel to keep you informed, entertained all year long, subscribe to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports today.